Imagine for a second that you had a single key that could unlock two totally different doors. Behind one door, a solution to a massive public health crisis, and behind the other, a way to preserve the world's most incredible, valuable assets? It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, what we're looking at today is a fascinating new model that says, no, a common code can actually fix both by completely redesigning how we think about value itself.
So let's just look at these two pictures. On one side, you have this heartbreaking reality, a steep, tragic drop in life expectancy for indigenous peoples in British Columbia. And on the other, you have this world of elite, remote, stunning luxury. I mean, these two worlds feel like they're on different planets. One is a story of systemic failure, and the other is a story of just incredible financial success.
So the big question is, what on earth could possibly connect them? A public health crisis and a portfolio of five-star properties? Well, the answer, according to this model, isn't about money or good intentions. It's about a shared, fundamental flaw in the design of both systems.
To really get to the solution, we first have to wrap our heads around the problem. And it turns out it's a systemic design flaw that pops up in both of these places that seem completely unrelated.
This is really the heart of the diagnosis, and it changes everything. The source material just nails it. Poverty is a design problem, not a resource problem. You know what that suggests is that we don't actually lack the money or the tools, we lack the right system to connect them where they'll do the most good.
Okay, so let's look at the health crisis first. This diagram here shows what's called the cycle of cost and crisis. Our system is totally reactive. It waits for someone to get sick, spends a fortune on things like ER visits, and then sends them right back into the same environment that made them sick in the first place, which, of course, just starts the cycle all over again. It's a system designed to manage sickness, not to create wellness.
And the human cost of this broken design? It's just staggering. A 6.1-year drop in life expectancy in just 4 years for Status First Nations in BC. I mean, that's not just a number on a chart. That's a profound systemic failure with absolutely devastating consequences in the real world.
Now, switch gears with me for a second and let's jump over to the world of high finance. We see the exact same design flaw. The source calls this siloed value. You've got capital looking for growth, real estate looking for stability, and technology looking for a problem to solve. They're all these incredibly powerful forces, but they're stuck in their own lanes, completely disconnected, and their potential to work together is just lost.
So, if both problems come from the same root design flaw, does that mean they could also share a solution? Well, this is where the model introduces a new economic operating system. A single engine, a common architecture designed to fix both of these broken systems.
The brain of this new system is an AI called GenAI. Now, don't think of some sci-fi robot. It's more like a really, really smart coordination tool. Its whole purpose is to make sure that every single action, whether it's social or financial, leads to a positive outcome, creating what the source calls guilt-free progress.
Here's a really simple way to think about it. Pouring money into our current social systems. It's like pouring water into a bucket that's full of cracks. Most of it just leaks out as waste and inefficiency. This model isn't about finding more water to pour in, it's about actually sealing the cracks in the bucket, so that every single dollar, every investment creates lasting value. And this is how it actually seals those cracks. Let's just follow the cycle here. It starts with a community's own spending. A piece of that revenue, 20%, gets automatically funneled into a community wealth fund. That fund then goes and buys productive assets, like farmland, through something called a REIT, which is really just a simple way for a community to collectively own property that generates income. So it literally turns everyday spending into permanent, land-backed wealth.
Now check this out, the financial flywheel. See how it looks almost identical? It's the same engine, just running a different program. It acquires a unique asset, uses tech to make it better, creates an amazing experience, and generates returns to buy more assets. It is the exact same virtuous cycle, just pointed at a different goal.
Okay, so let's see how this engine actually works in a real-world scenario. We're going to start with application 1, going after that health crisis we saw at the beginning. And the whole system gets started by something that seems almost too simple, the BarNess Miracle Bar. It's basically a medically tailored, nutrient-packed food product. But it's not just about the nutrition. This is the tangible thing, the catalyst, that gets that entire economic flywheel spinning.
Now this is a really, really crucial point. The bar is not a magic bullet. The source material is super clear about this. It's what's called a stabilization primitive. Its one and only job is to stop the bleeding, to stabilize a community's health just enough to buy the time that's needed for the bigger system to come in and do the deep structural repair work.
And hey, this isn't just a theory.
Here's the actual budget breakdown for a proposed $100,000 pilot program. Notice they're not spending it all on the product. A huge chunk of it goes to staffing and critical university research. And that's key. It's designed from day one to prove that the model not only works, but that it's economically solid and can be scaled up.
And this is the ultimate vision. The goal here isn't just to make people less sick, it's to create a thriving, self-sufficient community. It's a place where economic prosperity is built on a foundation of health, and the land itself provides real security for generations to come.
Okay, now let's switch gears and apply that exact same engine to the second part of our puzzle, that world of unique, absolutely irreplaceable assets.
So in this case, the asset isn't a nutrition bar, but a place like this stunning remote ranch in Patagonia. And the challenge is pretty clear. How do you preserve its cultural and environmental heritage without short-term market pressures forcing you to overdevelop it or sell it off?
And here is that beautiful engine at work again. It fuses two really different things. On one side, you have a tech fund using a tool called a SPAC that provides quick, agile money for smart upgrades. And on the other side, you have a curated portfolio of properties, that REIT again, that holds these unique places for the long haul. It's this brilliant fusion of fast capital for innovation and slow, patient capital for stability.
The result is what the model calls the win-win-win-win thesis. And the idea here is that true value isn't a zero-sum game, where somebody has to lose for someone else to win. This whole model is designed so that the investors, the assets themselves, the guests who visit, and the wider world all get a piece of the upside. It's a totally holistic way of creating value. So let's bring this all home. Let's zoom out. What is the big idea here, really? What happens when you realize that these two wildly different worlds can actually run on the exact same operating system? Okay, so here's the core thesis, boiled right down. First, it turns everyday spending into lasting community wealth. Second, it fuses that fast-moving tech and capital with stable real-world assets. Third, it uses one single operating system for both social and financial goals, proving they don't have to be in conflict. And finally, and this one is huge, it finds a way to turn positive human outcomes, like better health, into a valuable investable asset. It puts a real, bankable number on doing good in the world. Which leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought. What if the code for unlocking human wellness is the exact same code that unlocks more stable, more meaningful forms of capital? It really forces us to ask a much bigger question. In a world with so many connected challenges, what does it truly mean to create value today?